Hello there, welcome to UB Studio. I'm UB, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how I plan my photo shoots. Thanks for all these people for asking me about this. It's really great when you guys ask me about myself or my photo shoots. It really helps me to prepare some new content and videos, and I really appreciate it. So let's get started. So I will have 3 simple steps to plan my photo shoots, and you'll just follow along and I'll explain each point in detail. First is an interview with the model, and second is my set design to create the scenery, and third is fashion styling. So the interview is my first step of my photo shoot, and this is the most crucial step, which is a foundation for all my settings and my creation. I decided to do interviews because I have to talk about my photography philosophy here, because I think there is the most beautiful treasure that you can find is in the ordinary. It can be in the ordinary routines that we do, it can be the people that we see every day, it can be just ourselves that we are so used to. And I think, of course, I've captured a lot of models from agency and professional backgrounds, but capturing the ordinary person that they might or might not know about their unique dignity is my joy. So through interview, I get to know what they like, what they don't like, what their favorite color is, what their favorite flower is, and according to that, I get to know their uniqueness. So this is just a sample question that I gave to Grace when we had a photo shoot, and as you see, I ask about a variety of different things, like what's your favorite color, and what is the inner quality that you like about yourself the most or you don't like about yourself the most. I asked about their favorite flower, and then how they think about themselves looking in the mirror. And I also asked them about their nationality or their cultural background, because I think it's a very important root or something that might tell a lot about them. I asked about their passion, and honestly, I sometimes tweak here and there depending on the person. Let's say if that person is studying something unique, I asked about their studies, or if they have an important event that they had in the past that I know, I asked about the event, how they think about it. But the overall frame kind of stays there, and the purpose of this is to get to know the inner quality or the inner beauty that they have, or that they haven't found themselves. And I know that it's there, and I try to retrieve something important and unique about them through the interviews. So next is my set design. So after I read the interview, I look at the set design or plan the set design right away, because that's the foundation, or I kind of make the scenery from, or like a background or landscape according to the interview. And there are about 3 components in set design that I look at. It's usually fabric and flowers and furnitures. So after I read the interview, I usually get like a center phrase or something that summarizes that whole answers that the model answers. It can be 1 word, it can be 2 words, it can be a sentence, or it can be a short phrase, and whatever that is, according to that, I plan my set. So for example, with Grace's shoot, her favorite color was gray. And I thought what she said about gray, that explains or expresses her serenity and patience, I thought that was perfect, and that stuck in my mind after I read her interview. So I went to thrift stores trying to look for something gray or some kind of prop that would match that, and I found gray fabric, or I think they were bed sheets. And I think that perfectly matched her, and I draped it behind her wall that she was standing at, and I used that fabric all over as much as possible, and even I dressed her up with a gray turtleneck and that kind of muted color tone styling, and I think that was perfect for her. So another important element in my set design is flowers. So flower installation that's hanging on the wall, flowers that is growing from the ground, flowers hanging from the air, flowers that is stuck on the wall. Anything really fits my photography, and I really tried to create a set design from flowers from the interview, describing or expressing that we can't see. For example, in Vivi's interview, she mentioned about how she used to not like about herself being very emotional and how she is full of tears. She said she used to cry a lot about being even happy, or cry about when she's sad, cry when she's so proud about herself, or anything, any strong emotions, she would cry a lot. But she said now she accepts that kind of part in herself, and that was really strong to me. And after I read that interview, I just imagined a burst of flowers, a burst of something that grows out of her. And that's how I've created this set design from Baby's Breath, eucalyptus, as she said, both of them were her favorite flowers, and with other dried flowers that I had at home, and some tree sticks that I cut off from my backyard. So as this, I try to create a set design also because it looks good and pretty, but also it represents something about that person. So last not but least is my fashion styling. Fashion is a very important element as well in my photography, because I went to a fashion school in my master's, and I believe a garment on a person, or a garment that you can find anywhere, has a unique trace of somebody. The unique trace of fragrance, time, and past, or whatever that person has gone through with that garment, and that leaves memories and something unique that it doesn't come back anymore. And I think because of that garment or any kind of clothing, when it's old enough in the closet, it has a close attachment to the person. So I try to match that as I do my fashion styling to the interviewer. I try to match that with whatever they answer in the questions, and also match that to the set design that I already created, or the color palette that is already set. And that's how I try to match everything together. Even though it's from the interviewer, it has my perspective as well. And another thing, because I did my final collection in my master's over modesty of women and modest clothing, especially in the Regency area of Burton. I love clothes that's modest, that is pure, that is not much on the flamboyant side, but more on the reserved side. So even though every people that I interviewed or every people that I took photos of have different personality, I don't lose my own taste of fashion, of how to dress them, and I have a perspective of modesty and reserved and a calm quality, and that's how I dress them. So it's a mix and match between that person and myself. So for an example, I did a photo shoot of Hannah, and I knew that she had a beautiful physical trace on her upper body. She has a beautiful shoulder and her neckline, so I knew that had to be revealed. But instead of revealing here with a kind of I had a mesh kind of fabric top over her, and then under that she had a long dress, so it would cover her legs and her belly area, so it looked modest down there. So I found that compromising point, that she could look like I dressed her, but she still have that expression, that revealment of her own beauty that she had herself. So I hope you were able to follow my 3 points that I usually take to plan my photo shoots. I mean, for me, it's all about pulling that unique beauty from that person, that only that person has in this world, and nobody does. And I strive to capture that in my own way that nobody can also. So it's like meeting a middle point, or that best point, to show both of it in a picture of photography. I hope the points help, and let me know if there are other questions that you would like to know about my photography or my planning process. And thank you so much for your support all the time, and see you in the next video. Bye.